Okay, as promised, I am back. Elon Musk, let me ask you something, Truth Seeker. Are you going to continue your Twitter account when the world's richest man with his new toy decides to let this treasonous son of a bitch, Donald Trump, back on what will become Elon Musk's Twitter? You going to continue? I will state categorically right now, without exception, that if Elon Musk, and it appears it's a done deal, if he becomes the owner of Twitter, I'll wait and watch. And if he allows this treasonous piece of human waste, Donald Trump, access to Twitter again, my ass is gone. I have no reason to stay with Twitter, and I will not participate in something as vile as a marriage between the world's biggest son of a bitch, Donald Trump, who wants to destroy this country, and the world's richest man, the son of a bitch, Elon Musk, who, because he has billions, thinks he can do any fucking thing he wants to do. So anyway, what Musk said yesterday is that he is going to, quote, reverse the permanent ban, end quote, of the orange vomit, and let the orange vomit back on the social network. That's one of the first specific comments that Musk made on how he's going to change the social media service. He struck a deal last month to buy Twitter for $44 billion. $44 billion fucking dollars to buy a social media network, so he can jerk off for the world to see. I mean, calm down, Mike. Anyway, Musk said at a Financial Times conference that that Twitter's decision to bar the orange vomit for what he was saying was, in Elon's words, quote, a mistake because it alienated a large part of the country and did not ultimately result in Donald Trump not having a voice, end quote. Oh, what a bunch of weasel words, mealy-mouthed bastard. This is what the richest person in the world can say. This is what a white South African can say and get away with it because he's the richest man in the world. And then Musk added that the banning of Trump was, quote, morally wrong and flat out stupid. And he added that permanent bans just fundamentally undermine trust in Twitter, end quote. The fuck it does. Who's he talking to? You know who he's talking to. Look, Elon Musk and the rest of these multi-billionaires are so above any country's law. Any country. They operate outside the law, outside of any ethical or moral restrictions that a normal human being has to operate within. That's why I believe in total confiscation of fortunes like this. Total. Take away every goddamn thing the man owns. Oh, leave him $100 million. If he can't live on that, fuck him. I'm serious as a heart attack. What did Elon Musk do to to accumulate enough money that he can spend $44 billion to buy a social media network? And the other thing that is so irksome about this, Elon Musk is not stealing Twitter. He's buying it. From whom? Who? What kind of filthy assholes are willing to sell Twitter to a man who is declaring that he is going to use it to further assist in the destruction of this country? What kind of scum are these people? I don't know who's on the board of Twitter. I don't know who controls the shares. But what kind of bastards are they that they're willing to sell out their country, which is exactly what they're doing? That's what this is. Don't kid yourself. That's what this is. Jesus Christ. Morally wrong to ban a filthy son of a bitch like Donald Trump? That's morally wrong? That's a moral step in the right direction. That's an ethical move. That's a positive thing. Trump doesn't deserve to have a fucking voice beyond his own screwed up family. Let him shout and scream as much as he wants to from the steps of Mar-a-Lago, or to the scum bastards that go into his cave, into his web to listen to his bullshit. He can talk as much as he wants. I'm not saying shut him up. Fuck him. Let him talk as much as he wants. But on Twitter, where normal human beings, well, not all of them, but normal human beings go to share information, I don't think just Trump should be banned. I think there should be ironclad rules and regulations like there are with broadcasting, over-the-air broadcasting, like there is with television. I mean, what the fuck makes Twitter so different, aside from the fact that it's gigantic and worldwide? So there should be all kinds of restrictions on what you can say on Twitter. You're goddamn right. Freedom of speech, my ass. Where it concerns this, freedom of speech means the government can't stop you from saying what you want to say, but the government can regulate the parameters within which you can say whatever you want to. There is no such thing as totally unrestricted free speech. It doesn't exist. I don't give a shit what the fascist Christians want to scream at you. Damn, I just go from one thing to another getting pissed off, don't I? Oh, God. Why don't you get on one of your SpaceX vehicles, Elon, and see how far you can go before you run out of fuel? Jesus Christ. And Tesla. Well, what is this I've been hearing about Tesla? I know a couple of people who own Teslas. I don't have that much contact with them because when they bought the Teslas, they bought it as a prestige car, not as a way to cut down on CO2 emissions. If they wanted to cut down on CO2 emissions, they could have bought a goddamn Leaf long before Tesla ever came out. But no, they had to wait for the $65,000 car. Anyway, I digress. He owns Tesla. He owns SpaceX. He claims to be a free speech absolutist. But the point I was going to make, Tesla, his little toy car that he built, has a way, doesn't it? This is what I've heard. He can control, or his engineering staff or Tesla Central or whatever the fuck it's called, can control so much about the car, about the Tesla. Can they listen into your conversations? Probably. Can they track where you go? Absolutely. Can't Apple track where you go? Abso-goddamn-lutely. So no, I wouldn't think that Elon Musk would give a shit about free speech issues. He mouths that stuff. But he has demonstrated that when people say critical things about him on Twitter now, he loses his shit. Have I met? Yeah, I think I have. And this creep fuck is only 50. Can you imagine the damage he's going to do? Let's see. 2024 ticket. Oh, yeah. Trump and Musk. Yeah. He calls free speech the bedrock of a functioning democracy. And he has talked about his desire to give people more control over their own social media feeds. This sounds like the little punk ass that started Facebook, right? But by specifying that the orange vomit could return to his destructive bullshit on Twitter, Elon has opened up a political firestorm. Well, just people screaming at each other like I'm doing right now. People can scream until hell freezes over that Trump doesn't deserve any kind of speech guarantees. Why should he? What the fuck? Like I said, he can say anything he wants to, but on a platform that reaches billions of people? Hell no. Where was I? As you know, the Orange Vomit used Twitter as something to beat people up, as a place to put all his lying bullshit. He had 88 million followers, and he lied about every fucking thing that he tweeted about. And then in January 2021, Twitter, along with Facebook, barred the orange vomit from posting after what occurred at the U.S. Capitol. Engineered, organized, promoted, led by Donald Jesus Trump. And Twitter said at the time, if you remember, that the orange vomit had violated policies and risked inciting violence among its supporters. And Facebook said the same thing. But all of a sudden, Mr. Elon, I'm the richest man on the planet, Musk, I can do any fucking thing I want to do, has decided he's going to uncork this malevolent genie that has been temporarily pushed into a bottle, right? Oh, God. Whoever speaks for Twitter right now declined to comment on this bullshit. Derek Johnson, the president of NAACP, said that free speech online needed to come with guardrails. No shit. I mean, that's what the FCC, or FEC, what was it? FCC, Federal Communications Commission, was all about until the Reagan years when the Fairness Doctrine was removed, and then the Clinton years when the last restraining efforts to control who owned what was removed by Clinton. So it was Reagan and Clinton who totally fucking destroyed the idea of responsible speech and opened the door for these wannabe dictators and liars and cheats and people who want to destroy America. So you want to thank somebody? Thank Reagan and Clinton. Bastards. Bastards. But the head of the NAACP said, quote, Mr. Musk, free speech is wonderful, hate speech is unacceptable. Do not allow 45, that would be the orange vomit, to return to the platform. Do not allow Twitter to become a petri dish for hate speech or lies that subvert our democracy, end quote. Well, Mr. Johnson, president of NAACP, seriously, my man, who do you think is listening to that? Other than people like me. Do you think that the richest man on earth is going to listen to you? Derek Johnson, head of the NAACP, to Elon Musk, you do not exist. You don't even exist. None of us exist. Only insofar as Elon Musk allows us to. That's what you can do when you're the richest human being on earth. Jack Dorsey, who is a founder of Twitter and a board member, he tweeted that permanent suspensions of individuals are a failure. Are a failure. That's a quote from Jack Dorsey. And he said they largely, quote, don't work, end quote. Now, Dorsey was CEO of Twitter when Trump was barred. And he said last year that booting this orange vomit was the right decision for the country. That's what he said a year ago. But yesterday, he completely reversed himself, and he called it the sale to Musk, and Musk shooting off his fucking mouth about how he's going to let Trump back on. Jack Dorsey calls it, quote, a business decision. A business decision to ban Trump a year ago. And he said, quote, it shouldn't have been, end quote. So Jack Dorsey, this cowardly little prick son of a bitch, he sees the money coming his way. He's on the board. So all of a sudden, just like the members of the House and the Senate who are fascist Christians now following the Trump cult, they immediately cut their own fucking tongues out. I didn't say anything like that. Well, I did say it, but I didn't mean it. Well, I did mean it, but I reversed it. Well, God saved Donald Trump. Jesus Christ. Hi, Truth Seekers. Mike Malloy here. As you know, we've switched formats and are now broadcast exclusively on the Progressive Voices Network. So that means you get fewer program interruptions, no corporate commercials, and lots of profanity. But our format change also means some of our radio listeners no longer hear the program. It's been a while since I mentioned our podcasts, so you may have forgotten that there is a way to listen to this program anytime you need a good dose of screaming. Visit MikeMalloy.com and subscribe to our podcast. As a podcast subscriber, you can download the program to your mobile device and take me with you wherever you go. And if you have a friend who needs a dose of truth-seeking, you can give a gift subscription as well. That's MikeMalloy.com, and never miss a minute of the uncensored fun and frivolity.